screen.
Round 3.
Making sure. All right, what is this? What is this? The History of Trunks, Dragon Ball Z. You heard of it?
Oh, you know I have.
So this made sense. We got in contact with Mike and we was just like, hey man, let's do a pod. Let's do something quick. Let's do something fast. Let's get it going, right? And just thought about, we just watched History of Trunks because Damian Clark told us to.
Yeah.
Shout out, right?
We actually did it.
And there he is right there on the screen. There he is right there. Gohan. But it was time to watch it as far as where you were at in Dragon Ball Z.
Perfect timing.
Yeah. So I think we need to watch The Revenge of Cooler next, a little teaser.
Okay.
I love Cooler. Cooler's my favorite villain in there.
There you go. So there you go.
So Cool is a villain. Okay. Good to know.
Anyway, the History of Trunks. So they kind of talked about it all in one episode on the show. But this actually, was the expansion and showed you everything that he actually went through.
Yeah.
So you the new one here. I saw this 20-something years ago. So what did you think about the movie?
I thought this was cool. I liked it because all I saw was the episode where Trunks comes in and says, this is what happened, right? So that's all we know. We see a little flashback, I think. But
These androids are monsters.
That's all you have to go off of. So when we watched this, I was like, oh man, this is cool because it shows it more of what really happened, how he got there, right? How they built the time machine and more of what was happening and then him making the trip to come back. So I thought it was really cool. I was really glad they made this.
Yeah, the fact that they actually went over like this is what happened. This is why he went through what he went through. Like I was excited about it too myself.
So I was excited about it at the time when I watched it. So I'm going way back, right? Because we got to see like a little sneak preview of what we thought our characters would look like in the future.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy
and then we know it didn't quite happen that way.
No, it did not.
I don't want to, I think you already know, but I don't want to spoil the experience for you, so I won't keep going down the path that I'm going on.
Okay.
But this is probably my favorite Gohan.
Oh, it's everybody's favorite Gohan.
Right. What about you so far, for what you've seen?
Well, as long as Gohan's not crying, he's good. Hey. He's good with me.
He was just a boy.
I know. Okay, look. Logically, I completely understand why he cries. Why he cried a lot. Like he was a little kid.
Yeah, he was a little boy.
But that doesn't make it any less annoying.
Oh yeah, no, I totally understand.
So I'm not saying I wouldn't be crying. I would be too if somebody dropped me off in the middle of nowhere and like whatever. But
well, if you had superpowers and could fly,
I know, but still.
Oh god.
What if you could literally kill everybody on the planet except for your friends?
I know, but I do see why he was scared and, a little...
Yeah, he was going against really, really scary big man and stuff. Some raccoon-looking dude just coming at you like that.
Rocket Raccoon.
Yeah,
was
Rocket
coming
Raccoon.
For him.
Yeah, exactly, right? Nappa, that's scary.
So I like this one. It's funny that we're showing this on the screen right now because it says TV Special 2.
Okay.
So we call it a movie because that's just what we're used to over here. But it was short, and now that it says TV special, it makes more sense. The other reason I like this so much is because it's one of the few movies that actually had a direct connection to the show, the episodes. Most of the movies are just kind of standalone things.
Right.
They don't really tie into the show, and you kind of have to make guesstimations based off of the age of the characters and what they're wearing on where it actually falls in the timeline, right? If you never watched these movies, it wouldn't make a lick of difference, generally speaking. Even this one, though, to a certain extent, you don't have to watch it. He told you what happened. Right. Same thing with Bardock movie. It ties into the TV, the TV show, but they told you what happened. And if you didn't watch it, you didn't have to watch it. But some of these other movies, you really don't have to watch them. You're just watching them.
Just because they're cool.
Just because they're cool.
And they're Dragon Ball.
Yeah, cooler.
So anyway, Mike, what'd you think about the movie?
Man,
like watching it again now.
It made me hate Dragon Ball Super. I'm sorry.
Uh-oh.
Oh, really?
What?
Why?
It made me just hate Dragon Ball Super so much because.
Wait, is this gonna spoil anything for me? I mean, I've seen spoil.
No,
Super.
seen Super,
It won't.
so.
It won't. Yeah, no, it won't spoil anything for you. But just
Okay, so why did it make you hate Super?
so okay when you're watching the history of Trunks and everything, right? You're seeing like the stakes. You're seeing like the energy.
Food.
You know,
Ribeye?
shit, we gonna get us some food. You know, saying, but you know, but you got to see the stakes of like what's happening, what's going on. You see the intensity of it. I actually felt like, oh man, all hope is lost. Like the whole time I'm watching this whole TV special, I'm like, they are screwed.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, the androids are just going around acting like a bunch of obnoxious kids, destroying everything, which I don't understand. Because I'm like, they liked what they were doing. I'm like, if you sit there and you destroy
Just
everything,
having
you're gonna
fun.
be bored. Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna be bored out of your mind. But in Super, I didn't feel that urgency. You know, like it's cool, but it made me. Every time I go back and I watch an old Dragon Ball Z TV special or movie or something from the past, I re-fall in love with Dragon Ball Z all over again.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, but like
So
going
Super missed the mark, kind of.
it doesn't have that same kind of feel. You know,
Yeah.
everything is okay. Everything is good. It's still enjoyable, but you know, everything is okay. Where in this one, like in your kind of retrospective, how you saw it, like, was there any like happy moments or anything? Like, well, super happy. Well, not in the Trunks TV special. Like, did anything seem like, oh, it's all gonna be okay, other than the very end? You know?
No. It
I mean,
was
I-
only, I
I-
was going to say it was only the very end.
I think it was just a small glimpse of it when Gohan agreed to train Trunks.
Yeah.
And then it was like a glimmer of hope because you got Gohan and, you know, strong. Obviously, I feel like one-on-one, Gohan was stronger than the android.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
that's what
there
felt
was
like.
2-on-1, so he couldn't really do much. So then I'm going to train Trunks and trying to get him to turn Super Saiyan. And if he could actually do it, then there's hope, right? And then you got your arm cut off. So then it's like, oh, man.
Nah, I just handicapped him really hard.
Your arm.
Do you feel the same way about Super?
I think Super rushed through a couple of things. Like, for example, Super Saiyan God. Like, with the red hair. Like that was just like a glimpse of like nothing. Like it just happened, and then all of a sudden I have blue hair. Like it just happened too fast. And Super is retelling Dragon Ball Z stories. So it's the same as Dragon Ball Z. So it's like we already know what's gonna happen. Even the last, you saw the last movie?
Yeah.
Even that is just a retold Dragon Ball Z story, and pretty much the same thing happened.
Yeah, it already happened.
The same thing happened 20 years ago. It's just people are different ages now and transforming into different things.
Well, it's a lot of people's first time seeing it right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah. So it's just like, I'm not really getting anything new from Super, new and fresh, except for new transformations. But the story is the same. So with the story being the same, it is kind of like I already know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's similar to what we were talking about with like going to these game things. Like when y'all first saw it, it was new. And so it was like, oh, this is so cool. And then y'all watch Super and you're like,
I've seen it already.
yeah, I kind of already
Well, I
seen
mean,
this.
it wouldn't have been that way if they would have just told some new stories.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
But it's like literally the same exact stories.
But if you ever kind of notice too, when you look at Super, a lot of the stuff in there is kind of like they kind of dialed it back a little bit.
Like just to feel a tingle in your back.
Oh,
Oh god.
yeah. I did definitely feel more Dragon Ball vibes in Super. It was more lighthearted.
Yeah, it really was.
More lighthearted, comedy, family friendly kind of show. And I definitely didn't like them explaining everything to us as if we didn't know. Like as if we hadn't been watching Dragon Ball for 20 plus years.
Exactly.
That you were in diapers.
Yeah. No, but like on a serious note, though, it's like
Pampers.
the whole time while I'm watching it, I'm like I said, like on the whole dial back part, you're seeing that these androids are merciless. Like they're going around killing citizens. They're going around just wasting everybody, and it's it's a lot of despair. You know, it kind of to me, one of the reasons why I did watch like stuff like this was because it didn't hold your hand and like and what like and like the action or the story that they're trying to tell you. You know, like over here in America, you know, some of those shows, you know, that were for kids were like, oh, we're not going to show you what happened. No, this one they showed you like, no, people
right. There's no backstory really.
Yeah, you know, people
in America. Yeah.
So like I said, I'm watching it. I'm loving the animation's still pretty good for its time. You know, pretty good. And so you know, I got to hear the on here. I was listening to the original music. I didn't hear the American one. I have heard it already, but I'm listening to it, and I'm like, man, just the pace and the tone of how they're doing it. I truly do. I got immersed. I was able to have my full immersedness.
It's a darker, more adult theme.
Yeah,
you know, but it's not like only adult content.
Yeah,
I can't see them doing that now for Dragon Ball.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It you know, it's not like it was Berserk or anything. That's not what we're saying. But when I think of certain instances of Dragon Ball Z, and generally speaking, I watch the uncut versions of Dragon Ball Z. This movie has more of the tone and feel from what I remember of Dragon Ball Z being in my head, kicking off androids' heads, like kicking heads rolling, chopping people up into little bitty pieces, trunks, and then blasting the pieces away. Like that level of gore or gruesomeness or action or whatever you want to call it is the things that I liked about Dragon Ball Z that we didn't get from our American cartoons, right? But this whole movie like embodies that, generally speaking, because it was like death, Vegeta, Piccolo, everybody, Chaozu, you know. Like it's dark, right? So that's what I liked about this. Now we all know, generally speaking, your average Dragon Ball Z episodes doesn't have all that. But when you do get it, it's like, oh snap!
Yeah,
Trunks just chopped up Frieza into little bitty pieces.
Oh snaps!
Exactly.
And then blasted the pieces away.
Well, you know what? This whole movie like gave you a good view on why Trunks is how he is. Like when he came and he fought Frieza and everything, it's like, oh, this is why he's kind of like battle hardened, and he was so cocky and everything. He's like, oh, you don't even come nowhere close to like the type of stuff that I went through or the intenseness. So, you know, I loved it. That's the whole time I was just watching it, just like, oh my gosh, I'm so sad to see what it turned into now, but you know, but it's still good, you know. I can still enjoy it. Like I said, I'm not trying to deter you from Super or anything. Cause,
I mean,
well, she already saw it. She already saw it.
Yeah, you already seen all of it. Yeah, so no, it was so good. Just seeing Gohan as a mentor, you know. Oh my gosh,
I think that it was actually better than actually seeing the androids, and mostly because we got to see the androids in the episodes, right? But him talking about Gohan being a mentor, his best friend, and all that, you actually got to see that. So that was cool. So what else you got? What other takeaways?
I mean,
because it was short, so it's not like we have a whole lot to work with.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really have much. I mean, I'm not invested like you guys are. I just liked seeing more of the backstory, you know.
Were you as interested in this like you are like you were with the Android Saga versus the other stuff? Like, did this one kind of pull you in a little bit more?
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was good, and it went by really fast.
Yeah. So, yeah. No, like I said, that's how I felt, too. It just pulled me in really hard.
So, we got a new thing on the show, Mike.
Okay, what we do? What's the new thing?
Because, you know, we used to score stuff.
Okay.
And then people don't like to score stuff for whatever reason. Okay. So, off the top of the dome, what would you score this movie? And would you, and this is a little bit different. Usually we say, would you recommend this to the average person on the street? It's a little bit different because it's anime.
Yeah, and it's old.
I see.
Right. So, well, we're gonna modify the question a little bit. So first off, what would you score it off the top of the dome?
9.
Okay. And would you recommend this to the average person on the street? And would you recommend this to your average anime fan?
Like anime fan? You know what? To your average person, no.
No,
I wouldn't do that.
Why?
No.
Why not? Tell me.
It's because like the pool. Okay.
This is not entry level anime.
No, this is not entry level anime.
Okay.
No. They need something more, kind of more. I mean, kind of more grounded, I guess. Kind of like what they see on regular TV. Like I always say, I always go to Death Note for a lot of people because it's more kind of criminal looking, criminalist type deal. Something more grounded for them. Because like I said, when I try to start some people on JoJo's, they were like, "This is weird."
Yeah,
and I'm trying to stay away from making them say, "This is weird. I don't get it." Type deal.
Yeah. So just to respond to that, so my entry level anime back in the day used to be Voices of a Distant Star.
Okay.
Because it was short, and even though there was weird sci-fi kind of space battles, Gundams looking suits and all that going on, the basic story was about you had your, I think the dude was still on Earth, and then the girl was out fighting. I think that's what was happening, or it could have been vice versa. I don't remember, but basically he was waiting on her to come back, and then let's see, where is it at?
Spoiler alert.
She dies.
Oh, no.
But this is like this is a 30-minute thing.
Yeah.
So you can understand that regardless of what was happening in the beginning, you know, whether it been like some Lord of the Rings with swords and bow and arrows, or whether it been this with, you know, space battles. It didn't linger long enough on that for you to be like, this is weird, right? It was like, is she gonna get home to this dude because they supposed to be together?
Yeah, a real simple plotter,
right,
so that they can follow.
Right, and then she dies, and then like that's it. So something emotional to pull somebody in. What would you score this off the top of the dome?
Maybe like 8.8.
Damien's listening. 8.8. And would you recommend this to average anime person? Would you recommend this to an average person in the street?
No. I feel like, and I could be being biased right now, but
no, your name, it says unbiased.
I know, but I feel like this particular, whatever you called it, TV movie, whatever, is just very specific to, you know what I mean? Like this certain thing. It's like the movie you took me to, that first movie.
Fruitvale Station?
No. The first Dragon Ball movie.
Is that not the first movie we went to see?
Dragon Ball movie.
Oh, first Dragon Ball movie.
That one, I liked it, and I had no history. Like I didn't even know.
You didn't have a history of Trunks?
No. I didn't have history of anything.
What was the first? I don't remember though. Oh, you talking about the Resurrection F?
Was that?
Or the Battle of the Gods.
I think was the first one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I thought Dragon Ball Z was a person. I literally had no idea of what it was. I just knew my little brother liked it. That one I think was fine because you could watch it and not know, you know, who everybody was. But I just feel like this movie is so specific to something. It's about a very specific thing. I wouldn't just recommend somebody go see this unless they've watched Dragon Ball Z and they just somehow missed this movie.
Yeah.
Then I'd say, oh yeah, you got to go back and watch that for sure.
So I'll agree that I would not recommend this to your average Joe. Right. Definitely would recommend this to anybody who watches anime. But what I will say is I think this one is a little more complete A through Z, because it does have a more basic storyline. Like I think any random person watching this can understand what happened. Everybody got killed.
Yeah.
Everybody who was supposed to help got killed. The androids are here. They're blowing up everything, and there's only one person left fighting them. And there's a little kid here who could possibly help, and he's going to try to help. And now his mentor is dead, and he's the only one left.
Yeah.
And mom is going to build a time machine so you can go back and try to save somebody who can possibly help rewrite all this. It's a very basic plot, basic and simple. So I think I still wouldn't recommend it to the average Joe, but I do think if an average person watched it, they would be able to kind of follow it. Battle of the Gods, I'm not sure because you're introducing like Beerus, and he's a destroyer, and who is Whis, and
yeah, but I liked it. I didn't know who anybody was.
Right. I'm not saying that a person wouldn't enjoy it, but I just feel like it's harder to follow.
Yeah.
And I think at that point you had already watched some anime, so you had been kind of.
Yeah, maybe.
I feel like you gotta like dang near bring in something real Miyazaki Disney-esque type deal to get like your average person.
Yeah, any of those movies would be more favorable to your average Joe because it's more like a Disney movie.
Exactly.
So, but I don't know why I don't really count that as anime. I don't know why.
What?
No, I understand. But like I said, that's why it resonates with like I guess like your regular people. Like you'll see more people that will watch that, you know, before they would anything else.
Right. Yeah. Talking about those Disney anime, the stuff Mike likes.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Anything Satoshi Kon, I would suggest too to people.
Mike likes all anime.
Maybe.
You know, Paranoia Agent and type stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
if I knew a person just really liked drama, then go watch Perfect Blue.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Mike.
Oh yeah, I'm with you. Man, Perfect Blue is good. It's so great. Like everybody I show it to is like they're fascinated by it. So I'm like, oh, that's the exact like response I'm looking for. You know, I feed off of it.
Who are you?
Yeah, man, right?
Excuse me. Who are you?
Man.
Anyway, so I need to score it. It was not as good as I remember it being.
Oh, I see.
But it was still good.
Yeah,
So I think that 9 is, back in the day I probably would have said it was like a 9.5 or something, but probably a 9. Yeah. And I think it's being hurt by the graphics, or if I really scored it, it would probably be lower than that because the graphics would be lower.
Yeah.
At the time when you first saw it, those movies or TV specials or whatever always had better graphics than the TV show.
Yep.
So it's like, oh, it was dope. Oh, you got to see Super Saiyan Gohan. Super Saiyan Trunks, right? But now it's like there's been other movies since then, and obviously Dragon Ball Super, even though Super doesn't have good graphics, but the Dragon Ball Super movies, definitely blow this out the water. So if I actually did a technical score on it, it'll probably be lower, but off the top of the head, I'll still say a 9. And the score is going down because of the graphics.
No, that's understandable. Yeah, I mean, it is old. It's still kind of dated. So
1993.
It's a little dated.
I mean, compared to the stuff we were watching. Yeah, in 93.
And we're not saying that it's bad. It's just, for anything, for a lot of reviews for stuff, when people go back and they look at it, after we've seen we actually had good restaurant food. Now we go back, I'm just saying, to old food and say like,
what's for lunch?
I don't even know. One thing at a time.
Okay.
Let's wrap this up.
I'm just saying, but you know what I mean though, right? Yeah. You could be eating something you think is really good until you have some like real food, and then you're like, oh, okay, I still like that, but compared to this,
you grew up on Wonder Bread, didn't you?
What man? Man,
and then you got that Miss Baird, and you was like, whoa,
there's some good stuff.
He was like, whoa.
What? I like that reference, bro. I like that.
Wonder Bread, so nasty. Anyway, any last words before we wrap this up?
Nope.
Hope.
What?
Hope.
Nope and hope.
Hope. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
remember that. You always got to have hope. Trunks.
And maybe something will come out that's better than Super. Oh, you think they will come out with something else?
What you mean?
Like another series? Not series, but you know what I mean? Like we got Dragon Ball Z, Super.
I doubt it. I doubt it, but you never know. You never say never, but I think Super is gonna just keep going until they're tired of doing Super, and then that'll probably be it.
Oh, there's more episodes out that we didn't see?
No, but I think there's more coming.
Oh, okay.
Hey, yeah, real quick. So you see your so you have like this picture here of Boma, which is an awesome picture that you have here. So remember, I was like kind of doing like the whole thing of like hope on the side of it, right? Well, see, remember on the time capsule, his time machine, his mom wrote hope on the side of it. So that's always like a big thing. Yeah, that's a reference to that.
So, I forgot about that.
So you forgot about the hope on the side of the machine, and you forgot about the let's talk.
More action.
More action.
Yeah, I did forget.